Hello everybody, it's Chris. We are leaving Big Moose in the Adirondacks from the Big Moose station, the old railroad station that's now a restaurant, and we're heading to Stillwater. Now, I've never been to Stillwater. I've been to Big Moose, not just now, but also back in February on a snowmobile, because I did not realize this road, rough road, 14 miles. Oh my. No, I can't do this. Are you kidding me? This, my friends, is why Can-Am has the Canyon, or the Ryko Rally. I rode the Canyon. I did a whole video on the Canyon. I love it. But I am not going to risk kicking one of these rocks into my drive belt sprocket and popping a drive belt hundreds of miles from home. I'm just not going to do that. So what does that mean? Well, we're going to course correct. We are not going to Stillwater. We're going to find an alternate awesome route. We're going to just pull over. Oh, and a nice little shaded spot for me to pull over. Isn't this perfect? Just perfect. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to exit out of this, and I'm going to just say, if we wanted to go to Old Forge from here, I have no cell reception, so I can't do anything on that. That's why I have this. Okay, we're getting a real lesson in the utility of the Garmin GPS unit that I have a love-hate relationship with. And so I'm going to just say Old Forge, United States. That's the one we want, right? And let's just see if it takes us on a different... No, that's the same. I believe that's the same route. Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. I wish this was working, because this is not as descriptive as Google Maps is. Let me just see if I can get my bearings. Like, see how nothing's labeled here? And I'm sure this is user error. Yeah, so that road takes us to Eagle Bay. That's where we just left. So I don't want to do that. I have a feeling we're in the hinterlands, and this is the only route out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send us back to... Oh, there go the Spyder fans. And we're going to say we're to recent. We're going to back home to the Marina Motel. That's not home, but you know what I mean. Hit the trip data. We're at 2,000 feet elevation. This is useless for me right now. What we're going to do is take the same road back. Isn't this a cute station? Had a nice bowl of chili here with my snowmobile, my rented snowmobile, parked outside back in February. If you haven't seen that video and you're interested in the Can-Am Spyder, oh wow, this is perfect. This video, which is like an accidental video, we're getting to see a lot of things. Oh, that was for the guy who just drove by. Perfect. It contrasted, you know, I said it earlier, but it contrasted, I think it was the last video I said it, the Can-Am Spyder with its sister product, the Skidoo snowmobile. And so I rented a snowmobile and kind of demonstrated the similarities. But this is not the video that I anticipated or talked about in the last video. But let's face it, going down that dirt road, you saw it. It said rough road 14 miles. I would have continued on that road if it was like 2 miles to the paved road. And then I think we were 11 miles from our destination in Stillwater. But I'm not going for 11 miles, and those are slow miles, right? I'm not going 60 miles an hour on that road. So I just wasn't going to do it. But that's okay. This road was a beautiful road. We're going to just do it again. Talk about some other things. When you look at a map, and you can test me on this, but if you go to Google Maps and look for, let's say, Eagle Bay, New York, let's say Inlet, New York, to get directions to Stillwater, which I believe is considered the town of Ludlow. And it gets confusing with these different names and whatnot. Like, Old Forge is in the town of Webb. I don't get it. And Inlet, which is much smaller in terms of, like, I don't know, population density, commerce, much smaller than Old Forge, is a town in and of itself. That's neither here nor there. But if you Google Map and you look at the map, there's no way to tell that there's a rough road. Google Maps, if you're listening, you ought to figure out a way to like indicate that, because I cannot be the only person who, like, what if I was a girl who had like a really nice convertible car, and I'm up here with my friends, and it's like, you know, a high-end vehicle. I'm not gonna ride down that road, no way. What if I had a street motorcycle? I don't know. My guess is a lot of guys with Harleys would go down that road, but my guess is also some of them wouldn't. Oh yeah, this is super. So Google Maps ought to figure out a way, although I'll bet if I looked at that road on satellite as opposed to just the traditional Google Maps, I'll bet you it would have given me a clear indication, no, this is a dirt road, just by like eyeballing it. But I don't know that for sure. But I'll be honest with you, I am not disappointed at all. We got to experience some things. We saw the lakes right there. I don't know what lake that is. I guess, well, I don't know. I don't think that's Fourth Lake where I'm staying in Inlet, which is a few miles that way. There's so many lakes that are so close to each other. Again, I mentioned it in a previous video. Here are the sneakers. I love them. I hope you can see them through the ND filter. Beautiful colors. Just beautiful. The lakes are part of what's called the Fulton chain of lakes, named after Robert Fulton, who invented the steamboat, the steam engine. And he had an idea to build these lakes out of the Moose River, damming up, you know, the river at various spots, and connecting the lakes in a way that would allow steamboats to take tourists, you know, to these different towns in the Adirondacks. I'm not sure whatever happened to that, but there are like signs all over the place in this part of the Adirondacks explaining that situation. And I guess I never really read deep enough into it to figure out what happened. Did that idea actually happen, and then the invention of the automobile killed that idea? I don't know. But that cute little channel that takes you from Fourth Lake goes right by the hotel I'm staying at. I've shown to you many times on different videos. That channel goes from Fourth Lake to Fifth Lake. That was part of the plan, right? So you could take, I've seen there are lots of people that have those pontoon boats, and they kind of just leisurely cruise the lake. Well, a boat like that, or with a steam engine on it, could easily go through that calm, no rapids, no running, you know, water of any like significant pressure, just going from one lake to another on a pontoon boat or a steamboat. And this was all done like 100 years ago or whatever it was. I don't know. A long time ago. I will tell you, again, I have no regrets about reversing course on this, because this road is just breathtaking. It just is. The hills, the twisties. And I'm just so thankful I've got such beautiful weather while I'm here. I will say, going back to that road that would have taken us to Stillwater, it would probably be an interesting experiment taking the Spyder down that road. I mean, I wasn't joking when I said that's why Can-Am has the Canyon, because my guess is some guys would take the Spyder. They'd roll slowly, maybe 30 miles an hour on that road, and hope for the best. Oh yeah, this is awesome. I wouldn't do that. Now, if I had a two-wheel motorcycle that had a chain, and I know this because I've done it, and I don't mean like even before I had my KTM, which was off-road capable, but before that I had a Kawasaki Versys, which was a dual sport bike, 17-inch non-dirt tires, in no position to go off-road, but I would have taken the Versys on that road. And I would take a car. I've got a Hyundai Kona now, you know, and I've talked about that in previous videos, and I would take that Kona on that road easily. I would have no fear. It's because of the darn drive belts on the Spyder that I'd be concerned with it. And so if I had a Canyon, I would feel comfortable going on that road. Now, I know that there are some people that might say, well, the Canyon's a waste because the Ryker Rally, you know, can handle that road too. Yes. However, I'll bet that the Canyon can carve up highway miles a lot more comfortably than the Ryker Rally. I'm just speculating. I'm not looking for a fight. I'm not looking for a YouTube back and forth, but it's just speculation on my part. I've never ridden a Ryker. But for someone like me who likes the upright riding position that the Spyder gives you, and has never had like a cruiser or a low slung motorcycle, who wouldn't want to ride a Ryker for that reason, if I wanted the ability to go down roads like that, then I can see myself getting the Canyon. It's a great machine. I've ridden one. Again, I've done a whole video on it just a few months ago. This road is just unbelievable. Oh, here's some nice colors. I hope the camera's picking this up. Oh, yeah. Just beautiful. So now that I'm thinking, that dirt road up to Stillwater, I'll bet that snowmobiling has something to do with that road being dirt. I may be wrong, but I believe that that road is probably the snowmobile trail to Stillwater. I know there is one. I've never done it. When I had lunch at that Big Moose train station, I then came back south as opposed to going north to Stillwater. But I know that there are guys who go snowmobiling north to Stillwater, and I'll bet you that they just go on that road covered with snow. I'm just guessing. I am so loving this. Oh, that's a cool, I think they call that an alternative dwelling unit, an ADU. I've got a niece who lives in Los Angeles. I just visited her a couple of weeks ago, but she lives in one of those ADUs. It's in she's like in a neighborhood in Los Angeles, and in the backyard is this small little minimalist 500 square foot home that a minimalist like me would love to live in, and it's like perfect, only she's in someone's backyard. I'd love to know the history on this building. I had ice cream last night at this place after my barbecue dinner at Twister's. What a great little place. They're not open. I don't know what their hours situation is and their seasonality situation, but I've been here before at times when I would think an ice cream shop would be open, and they weren't. But I'm so glad they were open last night. I was going to go all the way back to Old Forge, which isn't that far, but it's much further than that place was. Pop! Those maples, when they're like fully turned, they are just beautiful. The Canadian flag with the maple leaf, you can see why they chose that leaf. I'm sure that it's because there's just a lot of maple trees up there, but it's a beautiful tree, at least this time of the year. Am I right or am I wrong? Look at it. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Alright, we're heading back to Inlet. This trip was shorter than I thought. And again, the next video that I plan to shoot will be, for me, tomorrow morning. For you, it'll be next Sunday, if you watch my videos regularly. And that'll be the video that'll take us from Inlet to Old Forge, where I'm going to have breakfast. Only it's going to go south of the lake. Where we just were was north of the lake, and now we're going to go south of the lake on a road I've never been on, but it looks... So I thought I had the place to myself. Who are these people in my town? What are these cars doing here? I was here like an hour ago, and I thought like I would enjoy the afternoon here all by myself, and now I've got people here? You've got a lot of nerve infringing on my my territory. Isn't that beautiful? So anyway, I hope that road that'll be for the next video south of Fourth Lake will be as awesome as that road we just did. Thanks so much for watching. If you like the video, please hit like. If you have any comments, please comment. If you're not a subscriber yet, please subscribe. And until that next video, you have a great day. Bye-bye.